In October, we actually did open our season. Then in November, we hit a little bump in the road. There was a break-in and the thieves vandalized the main electrical rooms to the entire property. They stripped out copper wiring. The damage was irreparable. So we had to move, needless to say, very quickly. We moved the organization to a different location in 6 days, which is where we are now at 3824 Dahlia. It was challenging, to say the least, on top of, a challenging situation that we were already in with COVID. Ultimately, it's ended up working out fabulously.
We've just absolutely fallen in love with it. It's originally an airplane hangar. The original structure is from the 1920s. Then it has an additional steel structure that was added onto it in
late 60s.
Yeah. Previous to us, it was actually the studios of Ed Dwight. So infused in its bones is art. There's 2 studio spaces. One of those also can then function as a performance space. In the midst of COVID-19, it's all set up cabaret style. So each party is seated at their own table. They're socially distanced from each other. So it feels very safe.
We just finished the run of Winterland, a discotheque cabaret. We did 24 shows plus the media preview and 2 VIP performances, so 27 total, audiences of 25 people per show.
That was kind of our first venture into making it into a performance space, and it worked incredibly well.
The next thing that's going to happen is we're going to open the Troublemakers on February 25th.
We're approaching the kind of aesthetic reality that the audience will experience in a completely different way. You feel like you're kind of experiencing this very private affair.
There's a whole area where there's couches and so forth and rugs, and that all gets moved and then the tables get placed. We're incredibly proud of our whole organization. Really, we've been functioning with the stay-at-home rules with the exception of going to work. Everyone is beyond 100% committed. And that's what's made it all possible.
They've been amazing. The community has been absolutely amazing, especially when we first went through this whole tragedy with the space, and when we first shared that publicly with the vandalism, the outpouring of support was remarkable. That support provided us kind of some stability that allowed us to continue forward. When we finally were able to put tickets on sale for these shows, it was amazing to see how quickly they sold.
We had a woman at one of the shows. The lights came up, the music started, the dancers started dancing, and literally like 1 second passed, and she stood up and said at the top of her voice, "Thank you so much." I mean, and then of course the whole audience started applauding, and but it was that genuine, authentic, like, relief of being able to have some semblance of normal and being able to witness and experience live art. For 45, 50 minutes, you get to come in and kind of pretend like the outside world isn't there, which is, I think, people need it right now in a big way.
So when we had to kind of reimagine our season because we knew we wouldn't be able to be back in a traditional theater, one thing that really interested me was the idea of film noir and how you could take those aesthetic elements and those kind of traditions and create a ballet in that form.
For artists to find any way to keep creating is really a way of sustenance for them and us and the community at large.
Whether it's $5 or $500 or $5,000, each of those contributions have helped make it happen, and helped ensure that we can keep going and help ensure that we can keep on contributing to our community and adding beauty to the community.